Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy just gave us an offensive line update, and boy, oh boy, the preseason just got a whole lot more fun. Cooper Beebe, working with the first team offense, will break down how he got that chance. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. Here we go. What's up, everyone, and welcome into A to Z Sports Dallas Primetime. I am your host, Mauricio Rodriguez, streaming with you live every Sunday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central here on Dallas On Demand Sports Talk Network. And catching up with you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with quick-hitting videos such as this one. Welcome into the show. Big update from Mike McCarthy today ahead of practice, because when he talked to reporters, he said Cooper Beebe has earned that chance. And that is one of the most exciting news that you could hear in August, because I think everyone loved how Cooper Beebe played, particularly when the All-22 came out, because I'm going to be honest with you, when you're watching a game from the TV copy, like when it's live, when it's happening, it is pretty damn hard to really appreciate what a center is doing unless you are solely focusing on him. And that was tough to do on Sunday when you were also wondering what Tyler Guyton looked like. And they did share at least, two drives together. Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe did. And then you were also checking out what Trey Lance was doing. So it was a difficult thing to do when the game was live. And I told Aisha Morrison when she was here on Sunday when we had this super long show breaking down the preseason game. By the way, I invite you to go watch it if you haven't yet. But one of the things that I told her was, like, I just feel like the stock didn't move a whole lot for Cooper Beebe. Like, I saw some rough moments. I saw some good moments. Watching the All-22 made me think differently. I think that Cooper Beebe actually had a stock that was skyrocketing after that game, and the coaches seem to agree. Mike McCarthy told reporters today that Beebe is going to be working with the first team offense this week. Now, granted, I'm not sure that necessarily will translate to the preseason game, but Cooper Beebe has the chance to make that happen from what it sounds like. So he was in the walkthrough today with the starters. The Cowboys have a joint practice with the LA Rams on Wednesday, and then the preseason game will be Saturday night. I do believe the game that will determine, or the practice, that will determine if Cooper Beebe gets the chance to work with the starters on game day will be tomorrow when the Cowboys take on the Rams again for another joint practice. Pats come on, live action, full speed. I think Cooper Beebe has a perfect chance. I think it kind of seems to me with this announcement from Mike McCarthy that it's Beebe's job to win. I don't want to say Beebe's job to lose, because Brock Hoffman has been solid enough to be like, okay, Cooper, you got to show us something for you to be named the starter. But they're giving him this opportunity on a silver platter where they're like, go get it. Like, prove to us this is the right call we should be making. Now, I do want to get into some plays that Cooper Beebe, that when Mike McCarthy says that he earned the opportunity, these are the plays that I think of. And man, Cooper Beebe just did a lot of good work. I will admit, before we get into it though, that I didn't watch the last few drives of the All-22 with Cooper Beebe working at left guard. So these are some of my thoughts just on Cooper Beebe playing at center. And I know a lot of good content creators from Cowboys YouTube have done much more deeper breakdowns if you want to check that out. But here are just some of my notes after my initial watch of the All-22, of the offense at least. I think this right here is one of the plays that have earned Cooper Beebe this opportunity. It might not look like much, but you see a lot of this on film, and that is just Cooper Beebe identifying what is going on the field. Snapping the ball, blocking the zero technique, and then identifying the stunt from the three technique, and just being so smooth with it. Unlike Sim Richards in this very same play, right? So Cooper Beebe, I think this is just clinic work, honestly, when it comes to identifying the blitz, because he generates movement with the nose tackle before he latches onto the three technique. So he's helping out on both fronts right there. You also saw a lot of this that I'm about to show you. And this is just Cooper Beebe looking for work, right? And we saw this when he was at Kansas State. You love to see it from a center. He will snap the football. His man will go away. and then boom, he just finds somebody to bury into the ground. You see a lot of his nastiness overall on tape. Like, look at this play. Just by contact him, he's taking that guy to the ground. And again, man, when you talked about Cooper Beebe winning this battle potentially against Brock Hoffman, I think a lot of it was, and I know we've been looking at pass plays here, and I think ultimately what you want is somebody that can dictate with that power, with that strength in the running game. But when this stands out in pass pro, you just love to see it. This is Cooper Beebe just, man, doing his thing. I don't even know what to break down from this play. He's in good position to just like deliver the blow, send him flying. My favorite part is that right after Cooper Beebe ends up taking his man to the ground, Tyler Guyton enters the shot, and he's also taking somebody to the ground. So that is also pretty cool to see. Cooper Beebe, by the way, he had, let me give you the number here. He had 40 pass blocking snaps, and he allowed only 2 pressures. Now, from what I can remember watching the old 22, watching his work at center, I think I only saw 1 pressure, and I've got it here, by the way. So I'm assuming the second pressure that he allowed would be from his work at left guard, but only PFF knows that for sure, and maybe I'll finish watching that tape from Cooper Beebe, but I think this is the pressure that he allows when he's playing center. I'm trying to describe it for the people listening to the podcast. This just seems like Cooper Beebe wasn't in the wrong position when the play started, right? Seems like he oversets a little bit to his left. And when the one technique pulls off the inside move, Cooper Beebe is already in an awkward spot, and he doesn't recover from that. He allows 92 to get into his chest. Doesn't play long in this particular play. Who knows if with longer arms that would have been a different story. Does try to anchor a little bit, but just it's too late, in my opinion, in the play for Cooper Beebe to make that work. But that's the one pressure that I saw Cooper Beebe give up when playing center specifically. And then just let's go to the run game, because I mean, you just see solid work from Cooper Beebe in the run. But one of the common themes from Kansas State that you can see still when he's playing in the NFL now is his ability to just disengage and get to a second man, right? Because when you're playing zone, you're making contact first, and then if you're freed up, you climb to the second level. There's a lot of that on Cooper Beebe's tape, both at Kansas State and here, and he's not delivering a crazy blow on 48, but he's doing his job, right? He's making contact with the first man, who is Asim Richards, the Zineman here. Asim takes care of it, and then boom, he just turns to 48, linebacker second level, and he's paving the way for the running backs. Again, man, you see a lot of this on Cooper Beebe's film versus the Rams. You see a lot of it in Kansas State as well. And you love that soundness in the running game, especially now that Cooper Beebe is also taking care of the snaps. And I didn't notice a whole lot of trouble with the transition from snapping the football, getting in a blocking stance, and getting at it. I even was watching some coaching clinics today to see if I was missing something, but that did not appear to be an issue to me on Sunday's game versus the Rams. Is it the cleanest looking sequence? Maybe not, but this is the first game that Cooper Beebe plays, running these positions. So I'm very intrigued about how he continues to look. But Cooper Beebe, I think, as Mike McCarthy said it, man, this guy has earned it, right? Because it's not only, and we got to be real here, it's not only about who's the best day one center for the Cowboys, right? It's about who will be better for the team late in the season, once it is do or die football. Because that upside that we like to talk about with the rookies and everything, it's not just about long term, it's about the end of the season. So if you're watching Hoffman and Beebe play and you're like, yep, Hoffman is pretty solid, his technique is down, he's pretty smart, but there's some limitations to his game. He's just not as strong as Cooper Beebe is. It's not as powerful, not as nasty. I think we all agree with that. So the reason why you would play Hoffman over Beebe to me right now is that he's got the experience and he's got the offense down, right? He knows what he's doing, as Dak Prescott recently talked about. So that's his advantage right now. However, with Cooper Beebe, you're like, man, maybe he doesn't have all of that down. But when we get to December football, January football, he will likely already have that down because he will be working with it for 10 plus weeks. And by the time we get to January, I would just much rather have this guy paving the way for my rushing offense instead of somebody else. That's how I look at it, man. And I think last week I would have told you I'm betting on Brock Hoffman to start at center. Heck, I would have said that a few days ago. But now that we've watched Cooper Beebe play in a preseason game, and we watched, or at least we know that it was enough for the coaching staff to be like, screw it, we'll give him a chance. I think we're now heading in a different direction. I think this starts to feel like this is going to be Beebe's show in week 1. It's his battle to win, and he's being given the chance to go out there and win it. So I love this piece of news, man. I'm excited about it. Now we wait. We're going to get another look at him tomorrow in the joint practice, and hopefully he stays with the first team when the preseason game number 2 comes around versus the Raiders this Saturday night. It's exciting. In other news, offensive line news, Chuma Edoga, he is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks per Bobby Belt from 105.3 The Fan. This puts the Cowboys in an intriguing position regarding Chuma because he can be placed on IR and he can be designated to return without the Cowboys having to sneak him into the 53-man roster. So hear me out. Before, if you wanted to place somebody on IR and designate him to return, you would have to do the famous roster gymnastics where you're like, all right, I'll cut, and I'm just going to make up a name here, CJ Goodwin. I'm going to cut CJ Goodwin. I'm going to sneak Chuma into the 53, and day 1, I'm going to send him to IR, and then he'll return later on, and I'm going to re-sign CJ Goodwin now. The Cowboys do a lot of that. Every other NFL team does as well. Now it is not exactly necessary because you can have 2 guys designated to return on cut down day. The trick here is it cannot happen before. So if the Cowboys want that roster spot for somebody else in the preseason, right? So if they want that open spot in the 90-man roster, then they would have to designate Chuma to IR. His season would be over, or just cut him, injury settlement, all that stuff. Or the Cowboys could be like, man, I don't really need anybody else on my 90-man roster at this point. They can wait it out, get to cut down day, send him to IR. They don't have to risk anybody else on cut down day, and they just, designate him to return, and he can be back with the Cowboys later on in the season when he's healthy. But the injury news does mean that this is Tyler Guyton's show. And it already was, because I think we all knew where this was headed. It sucks that Chuma Edoga suffered a preseason injury. Of course, we can all agree to that. But now there's literally no competition for Tyler Guyton. So this means it's time to ramp up number 60. We'll see how the Cowboys go about his preseason snaps, because now you're like, there's no plan B. It's just Tyler Guyton, or we're totally screwed. And we'll see if the Cowboys put him in bubble wrap and maybe just play him 1 drive each of the next 2 games, or if they really want to get those reps. It's going to be tough to balance. So we're going to find out what they decide to do. In the meantime, though, do me a favor, hit the like button for me. Hope that you enjoyed the show. And thank you so much for tuning in. Share, and I'll see you very soon. For now, though, we wait, because Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe are coming to an NFL field near you.